All right, so it was confirmed, man. It was really much confirmed. That was true. Maybe I didn't look at it that same way. Once it happened, hey, I think I was wrong. I think Wardlow was buried. I was trying to give them the benefit of the doubt, right? Just to be a nice guy. I was trying to be nice. I was trying to be a nice guy. I was trying to give them the benefit of the doubt on what happened to Wardlow. But they had Darby Allin beat Samoa Joe clean. They had him beat him clean. Let me get this straight. A dude that's like what? Maybe 160? Soaking wet? He can beat Samoa Joe clean, but Wardlow cannot. See, I was trying to give them the benefit of the doubt. I thought the story was going to be Wardlow works better when he is the chaser. He works better when we feel sorry for him. So I figure, okay, Samoa Joe, this dude will actually cut his hair. He took out his knee, and he beat the shit out of Wardlow. But the fact that he cut his hair, that was embarrassing. Then you had little ass Darby Allin had to say Wardlow from Big Bad Samoa Joe. A little man like that coming to the aid of a monster like a Wardlow. That's Tony Khan booking 101. Book tiny men to look stronger than your fucking monsters. Wow. You embarrass Wardlow only to have Darby Allin be the hero and beat Samoa Joe. Something that your monster Wardlow couldn't do. Darby Allin can beat him. Wardlow can't. Now, I don't go fuck if Wardlow wasn't 100%. A Wardlow who's less than 100% is still better and stronger than Darby Allin. A 50% Wardlow is better than Darby Allin, but Darby Allin can beat Joe clean. It's like Wardlow, he needs to leave this company. How can you stand for that? I would have been pissed off. Like, I'm like 6'2". I'm like 270 some pounds. I can't beat Joe, but this little ass dude can. And you embarrassed me after my match. And now I'm nowhere near worthy of a title shot. Because what are you going to do? What, Wardlow will turn heel? Bro, how is he going to get back his fucking title? If Darby is a face, they are not going to book face versus face. So in hindsight, Wardlow is nowhere near a title match. I said, maybe they did that to Wardlow to build him back up as an underdog. But you just gave your title to your biggest underdog in Darby Allin. Where does this fit Wardlow? It's like, dog, even if Wardlow comes back and beats Joe for his worthless Ring of Honor title, what does that mean? Nobody cares about Ring of Honor. It's like, that's a worthless title. It means nothing. It's meaningless. So once again, you buried Wardlow for a second time. You buried Wardlow by not having him go after the world title. You buried him by not letting him in that battle royal. Now you bury him a second time for Darby Allin. You did all this to put over Darby Allin. I don't get this obsession with, if you have a title match in your hometown, you have to win. What kind of booking is that? I thought that's awful booking. Nobody points this out. Nobody in no company does this. Nobody, literally. Dog. Even when Ring of Honor was by itself and TK did not own it, they never did that. Dog, nobody does that. Oh, we have to drop the title because this is your hometown. Are you fucking sick? That's fucking stupid. Nobody does that. That never happens. That rarely, hardly ever happens. In fact, that's just the fucking opposite. If you watch the WWF, that shit is the fucking opposite. They have you lose in your fucking hometown to throw people off. But now, every time we see a title match in somebody's hometown in All Elite Wrestling, we have to count that as an automatic dub. That's an automatic win now. Seriously. So what's his name? Garcia. Remember? I think he had a match in Buffalo. I think that's his hometown. And they gave him a title. I think he won a Ring of Honor title in his hometown. See what I'm saying? He does this all the time. He did it with Max. He does this all the time. If this is your hometown, you will be a new champion. That's stupid. That's dumb, lazy, corny booking. It's like nobody points that out. Darby Allin had no business beating Samoa Joe. Not in that fashion. Because he still has beef with Wardlow. Don't we want to see Wardlow get back his title that he did not get pinned for? Like, I don't get it. But what happened to Wardlow, it made him look very, very weak. Now, I will say this, I was wrong. I thought this was a story to build up Wardlow. I thought he would be the one to beat the big bad evil Samoa Joe. But he was used to put over Darby Allin. That's like All Elite Wrestling booking 101. Make your monster seem like he's a fucking weakling and build up Jack Perry, build up Garcia, build up Wheeler Useless. Yeah, let's make Hobbs seem like he's a fucking jobber, but let's build up Darby Allin, right? Yeah, let's bury Wardlow to build up Sammy G. That's All Elite Wrestling booking 101. Make your monsters look like jobbers. Wardlow look like a jobber. You set him back for months. That was an official burial setback. Once Darby Allin beat Samoa Joe, because now he's nowhere near a TNT title match. He's nowhere near it. Like I said, man, Wardlow, he needs to leave this company. There's a reason why Triple H is very interested in Wardlow. He needs to go. He needs to leave, man. He needs to go. That was ridiculous. You embarrassed him. Burial all for Darby Allin. We have to give Darby Allin his TNT title in his hometown. That makes no sense. That's the only reason he beat him? Because it was his hometown. Like, that's garbage. That's corny. But let's talk about Sasha Banks. Look, man, that was an awful debut. That was awful. She botched her new finisher. Now, I would say Sane botched it and Sasha fucking botched it. That move, it takes two to tango with that move. That move takes too much teamwork. And on top of that, that's a dumbass finisher that makes no sense. That move is too busy. It takes too much teamwork to do it. So why do it? And I'm going to assume they did not rehearse that move. That's why that move looked awful. Do not do a move on your opponent if you did not rehearse it. Do not do a finishing move if you can't do that move on people of all sizes. That's the old saying in pro wrestling. There's an old saying, if you can't do your finishing move on people of all sizes, then you shouldn't do it. That's facts. That's why Goldberg was allowed to do his jackhammer, because he can do that move on anybody. That's how big and fucking strong he is. They gave him tons of trust to let him do that move on the fucking Big Show. Ever since then, that's been his finishing move, because he can do it on anybody of all sizes. Do not do moves as your finisher if you can't do it on people of all sizes. Because what are you going to do if you face a guy like a Brock Lesnar? How will you beat him if you don't have the strength to pick him up, right? Okay, you gotta do a simple move. A move that's not too busy. But the fact of the matter is, that's an ugly ass move. All that for a fucking DDT. All that for a DDT. It's like, why can't you do a fucking backstabber? Why can't you do a fucking bank statement? It's like, just keep it simple. You don't need a new finishing move. Like, that move is too busy. You need your opponent to sell it like crazy. It's like, I do not like that move, but that was an awful debut. But my biggest takeaway, she has a great theme song. That theme song was fire. Man, she don't deserve that theme song. That theme song was fucking fire. Shit, I gotta be objective. That was a fire ass theme song, man. I gotta fucking search for it. I gotta download it and fucking search for it. That's a great fucking song. I'm like, damn. I'm like, man, this shit goes fucking hard. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, man, give this song to Powerhouse Hobbs. That song needs to be with a better wrestler, okay? Hobbs, he needs that song. Man. But I did hear she's going to be with All Elite Wrestling, and I'm saying good. I hope she becomes a All Elite Wrestling lifer. That's where she should be at. Let her be Tony Khan's new headache, because she will be a backstage headache. there's too much proof of it. See, people didn't think CM Junk would be a backstage headache. Let this sink in. How the hell your ass gonna be a backstage headache when Vince McMahon is no longer your boss? So what's your excuse for being a fucking asshole backstage if your boss is no longer Vince McMahon? What's your excuse? Right? Remember that Cole Cabana interview where Junk was burying all the officials backstage? Right. He was crying, this and that. So people thought it would be a great thing if he goes to All Elite Wrestling, right? People thought that would be a great thing. People thought he would be on his best behavior. No. That shit was the fucking opposite. This dude got kicked out of that company in 1 year. So, which makes all his false statements about Vince, about that company, all for naught. That's proof he was always the problem, bitch. Huh? That's proof. CM Junk was always the real problem. It was not Vince. It was not Triple H. It was always CM Junk. He was always the backstage problem. How do you fail in All Elite Wrestling? If Tony Khan is your fanboy, your biggest fan, your boss is your fanboy, biggest fan, he pays you bank, and you failed, that roster does not like you after 1 year. The point is, he brought his baggage to All Elite Wrestling. And look, I thought that company will be better off for him based on his fucking demands. They still couldn't reach his demands. Just imagine Sasha Banks. But she will be humbled, right? She is going to wrestle in front of half the fucking audience of a Raw and SmackDown. What was her last show? I think it was SmackDown, right? Okay. Let's just assume eventually she will have a match on Dynamite. Let's say she will have a match on Rampage. How many people watch Rampage? Well, like what? Maybe 40K on a good week. When she was on SmackDown, she was wrestling in front of 2 million people per week. Now, that will be cut in half on Rampage. That will be cut in half on Dynamite. So, by your logic, her leaving was worth it? She wants to be a big time star, right? Famous, right? She wants to be a big time actor. Okay, but nobody is going to know who the fuck you are if you are wrestling in front of half your regular audience. You got your strong following from the WWF. That's why. You go to Dynamite, dog, you are in front of maybe 900K. So how is this an upgrade for her? It's half the audience, right? Her star power will go down. Less eyes on your brand is not good. Let me say that once again. Less eyes on your brand is not good. And let me tell you this. Her new name will never be as big as her old name. That's why this was a bad thing. Her going to All Elite Wrestling. Whatever her name is, fucking Mercedes, whatever. that name will never be as big as your old name. Nobody is going to Google your new name, right? Same thing as Dean Ambrose. The majority of the audience, we only know him as Dean Ambrose. See what I'm saying? Nobody checks for Dean Ambrose now. I'm talking, look, when it comes to casuals, nobody looks for a Dean Ambrose. Not anymore. Nobody knows what his new name is. You know why? Because he's in front of half his regular audience. That's why. That's why the WWF always trademarks names. Because they don't want you making tons of money off their name that they gave you for a different company. That's why they trademark your name. They don't want you making bank off their name that they gave you. Right? Same thing with Mandy Rose. They didn't want her having a fucking OnlyFans using her WWF name. That's smart business. Why wouldn't your ass use your big name that made you tons of money? See, names are very important when it comes to making money. It's very important when it comes to your brand. Your name is important. Look, I do believe her being in All Elite Wrestling will be a bad thing for her long term. That's what I think. Sasha will be the first woman to beat Jade Cargill because that makes the most sense. She has the biggest name on that women's roster, so that makes sense, right? She was a big name in her last company, so far Jade has beaten that whole roster. So that makes sense for Sasha to come in and fucking beat her. Like why not? Sasha, she's a big name. I feel like Jade should be beaten by a big name. So that makes sense for Sasha to beat her. So that's what I think will happen this year. Sasha will beat Jade Cargill for that title. I guarantee it. Sasha will beat her. I guarantee it. When it comes to Sasha in All Elite Wrestling, I think she will be a multiple time world fucking champion. She will cry and complain, and she will get her way. She will become a multiple time world champion in this company. When it comes to Tony Khan, he will have a rude awakening with this woman. She is going to walk all over him. He don't even realize it. But I love it. She will be exposed, and eventually she will miss her old company. And she will realize she ain't no big top star like she thinks she is. Because when I saw her debut, dog, that audience did not know who the fuck she was. And will you please stop treating me like I don't watch wrestling? I do watch it. I do know about that New Japan audience. People are trying to make the excuse by saying they don't cheer people. No, bitch, you are a fucking liar. They do cheer people. They cheer Omega. They cheer AJ. They cheered Finn fucking Balor. They cheered the fucking Bullet Club. They cheered who else? Kurt Angle. They cheered China. They cheered Brock Lesnar. Like, People are trying to make the excuse by saying their audience don't cheer nobody. People are trying to make the excuse by saying they are not allowed to scream and fucking cheer. That's a fucking lie. Who told you that? Like, huh? Like, bruh, they cheer Chris Jericho. They cheer Dean Ambrose. They fucking cheer Juice Robinson. Yes, bitch, I do watch sometimes. I do watch clips of that company. They do cheer people if they like you. Bitch. Dog, they don't know who Sasha Banks is. That's why, look, that's why her ass got no reaction. Not because, oh, it was all for respect. That's why they were quiet. No, get the fuck out of here, bro. That makes no sense. Like, what? That's like dumb logic. That's like Cope 101. You're saying the audience does not cheer people. They stay quiet out of respect. That's a bold-faced lie. I used to watch that company every week. So, I'm not dumb. Don't fucking lie to me. Bruh, they cheer Tama Tonga. Yeah, bitch, I know people. Look, I know people over there. They boo Jay White. So, don't give me that bullshit, bruh. Just face facts. Take the fucking L. They don't know who Sasha Banks is. Dog, if that was Charlotte Flair, they would have gave her a fucking pop. If that was Belair, they would have cheered. If that was Becky, they would have cheered. That's proof. They don't know who Sasha Banks is, bro. She's not that big of a deal. She's not that big of a star. Get over yourself. That's it. I'm done.